Very good morning to everyone. Am I audible to everyone? No. Then I'm not audible to you. No. Others? Shreyashi? Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if yes. Okay then. Did you read the content that we have to discuss today? Bhavesh Pandey, you are not visible to me. Ritika. Shashwat Pandey. Astha Prajapati, Divyansh Kumar, Karthik. Reyansh, Anshika Yadav, Supriya Ranjan, Mansi Tiwari. Kindly join the class with your video on so that I can see you. Okay. So in the last class, we were discussing about the adaptations and habitats. Okay. Adaptation in deserts. Isn't it? We have discussed about certain characteristic features of camels, the adaptations in the camels which help the camel to survive in the hot desert condition. That is the xeric condition, the xeric climate. Okay. Then we have also discussed about the cactus plants, and you have seen how this cactus is able to grow and be or survive in that habitat. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about adaptation in mountains. Okay, so let's begin. Let's explore this topic. Already in the previous session, you have learned about the cactus plant, where you have learned that the stem is spongy and it is succulent. Okay, spongy means it is sponge-like and it is thick. It is succulent. Succulent means something is filled inside it. It is juicy in nature. Okay, but what actually is it? It is the water which is stored in the stem of the plant. Okay, then you have seen the cactus has the small surface area so that it minimizes the rate of evaporation. Spines are modified leaves. The leaves of the cactus plant are modified into spines so that there is reduced loss of water through transpiration. And as you know, the stems, they can store water. And another characteristic feature you have learned is the root is widespread. Why it is widespread? So that it can absorb water from large area. Okay. Then we have discussed about camel. Camel has long legs to keep the body away from hot sand, and it has hump present on its body, which stores the food for camel. Then I have also told that it can store water. Camel can drink around 40 liters of water at a time, and this water is stored in its body. Last time somebody asked me, Miss, where is the water stored in its body? So let me make it very clear to you that it is stored in its complete body. That means it is in its bloodstream. Okay, uske खून में मिल जाता है. It is in the bloodstream, and from there this water is the water is used up. Okay, So we have discussed about the various characteristic feature, 2 rows of long eyelashes, then fat which is stored in the hump. Then we have discussed about the well padded white feet. What was the use of the well padded white feet? When it is moving on sand, it helps not to sink in that sand. Then we have discussed about the thick leathery patches on the knees. What is the use of this thick leathery patches on the knees? When the camel needs to sit, the leathery patch protects its knees from the hot sand. Then you have learned that the camel has long legs, long and strong legs, because it has to walk long distance. It has to cover long distance. Okay. And also this long leg keeps the body of the camel away from the hot sand. Okay. Now, as we have been learning about adaptation, let's once more revise what is adaptation and what is a habitat. Okay. Anything that helps an organism to survive in its environment. Okay. You have learned there are certain special features in the plants or animals, in the organisms, which helps it to survive in a particular habitat. Okay, so that is what is called as adaptation. Okay, it also refers to the ability of living things to adjust with different conditions within their environment. For now, if you see the people around around you, okay, whether it's me or you or the people in your surrounding area, you might have observed that we have the ability to adjust with the conditions which are present in our environment, isn't it? That is what is adaptation. Likewise, the plants and animals also have the ability to adjust with different conditions within their environment, and this helps them to survive in their habitat. If they're not able to survive, that means they will no more be. Okay, so this is how, due to certain characteristic features, developed characteristic features, and also the adjustment in different conditions, help an organism to survive in its habitat. Okay, now let's see, let's talk about the climate in the mountains. Okay, as you know, in the mountains, the weather is very cold and windy. If you have ever visited any mountain area, if you have gone to Shimla or Nainital or such places, you might have observed, you might have experienced that the weather is cool enough. Okay, from our area, the conditions there is different. Okay, if you go at much more higher altitude, okay, if you go at a higher altitude means if you move away from the land area, the plains, when you move to the mountains at higher place, okay, what would you have what you have observed there, if you have ever visited? It is covered with snow. If you have not visited such place, well, I have not visited any such place. I have only seen in the movies and the photos. Okay, so such places are covered with snow. वो बर्फ से ढके होते हैं. Okay, and these conditions which are there in these areas make it difficult for the plants to grow and for the animals to move around and find food for themselves. Okay, so you see, the climate in the mountains is very harsh and it has certain features like extreme cold, fluctuating temperature. Fluctuating temperature means temperature rises and falls down. Okay, then there is very high wind and also wind pressure. Okay, because the temperature is low, that is why the pressure becomes high, okay? And this is the reason at higher altitude, it becomes difficult to breathe also. Then at higher altitude in the mountains, the atmosphere has a low concentration of carbon dioxide and also oxygen. And the amount of ultraviolet rays, UV rays, radiations means the ultraviolet rays. That means because it is a bit near to the sun, definitely the amount of UV rays will be comparatively higher than we get, okay, than the people living in land area experience, okay. Then there is a thin rocky soil which is poor in nutrients. So the amount of nutrients also there in the mountains is comparatively less. Why is it less? Because the soil layer is less. It is mostly rocky. The mountain places, it has mostly the rocks and the stones present, okay. Then there is also scarcity of food, especially during chilly winter when the temperatures are too low. That means when the temperature goes below 0 degrees Celsius, then, or maybe when the temperature is 1 or 0 or below 0, then what happens? It is all around covered with snow, okay. So during that time it becomes very difficult for the animals to get food, okay. So there is a scarcity of food. Scarcity means lack of food during the long chilly winters. Therefore, the plants and animals in these areas are adapted to protect themselves against cold and snow, okay. So they have certain special features which are adapted to protect themselves to survive in their particular climate. So you see here it shows how the mountains look like. This mountain, which is around maybe 800 to 900 feet above the ground level, you can see here there is no snow. But as you move at higher level, okay, as you move at higher level, you will find the mountains are covered with snow. Now, what is a mountain? The landforms which have a height of around 900 meters or more above the sea level is called as mountains. You might have studied in geography, okay? So these are the landform which are present at a greater height, okay? And these are only called mountains. Their height is measured from the sea level, okay? Sea level se wo jitna upar hota hai, that is the height of the mountain. Now you see here, this is this is the mountain, the frigid zone. Frigid zone means the very cold area or intense cold area, okay? Here the temperature will be comparatively low. It can be below 0 degrees Celsius also, okay? So you see the mountains, there the environment is comparatively different from the area where we live, okay? Now let's see the animals which survive in the mountains. So here you see it is showing a bear, the polar bear. And we are going to explore the topic structural and behavioral adaptations of the polar bear. Structural and behavioral adaptation means, structural means the physical body. What are the changes or what are the modifications or what are the special features found in the body of the polar bear? That is the structural adaptation. What is behavioral adaptation? Behavioral adaptation means how it responds to the conditions, okay? That is the change in behavior. So you see here, the structural adaptation can be called as physical adaptation also, where its the feathers can be there In polar bear, feathers are not there, but there are certain animals which bear feathers also. The polar bear has fur and it is an insulation for the body of the bear. Okay, then its body shape, the color, and protection. These all we'll study in physical adaptation. Now let's see first of all about the behavioral adaptation. So let me tell you that these polar bears, they are very strong runners, and this helps them to survive from the predators. Predator means the animals those can eat this bear. Okay, those who can eat these bears, they are called as predators. Okay, so these polar bears, they are strong runners. They can run very fast and they can escape from their enemies. Okay, then another behavioral adaptation is they stay with their cubs. Cubs means the children. Okay, it can stay with its children for 3 years to make sure that they teach them how to survive. Okay, so from birth till the time they are of around 3 years. Now nobody is going to tell them that they are about 3 years, but it is they know how to tackle it. Okay, how to be with them and how long they need to stay with them. Okay, as mother knows everything, how to grow up a child, the same way here also the bears also, though they are not like human beings, but they are made in such a way that they know what is to be done and when it is to be done. Okay, so the polar bears, they stay with their cubs for around 3 years to make sure that they can teach them how to survive in their habitat. And they are considered to be the biggest animal in the Arctic that helps them to get their prey and also predators. Okay. Now, let's also see the physical adaptations. First, we have discussed about the behavioral adaptations. The polar bears also dig dens to protect themselves from cold winds. The dens are the places where the polar bears stay. Okay, so they dig dens and be inside that den when it is cold, chilly winter. Okay, then as you have already known that their ability, they are strong runners. Other than being strong runners, they have the ability to be a strong swimmer as well. And this ability of the polar bears help the bear with hunting and also swimming through ice. As you know that in these areas the temperature is very low, definitely there is a possibility that the water the water body which is present in the surrounding area will be covered with ice. Okay, especially we are talking about the Arctic and Antarctica. Okay, so in these places where the temperatures are very low, these polar bears are found in these areas and they have strong ability to be a strong swimmer, and this helps the polar bear with hunting. Hunting means getting its food, getting the prey, and also helps the bear in swimming through the ice. Then when talking about the physical adaptation, you can see that the polar bear has white fur. This helps the bears to blend its body with the white snow and ice. Now, why do you think that it needs to blend with the surrounding? Can anybody respond to this? Why it needs why is it that it has a white body, the white fur present on its body, and what is the use of it? Why it needs to blend its body color with the surrounding? Yes, Celestine.
To hide, uh, to hide from predators.
Very good. So that it can hide from the predators. Okay. So this is one special characteristic, the physical adaptation in the polar bears, that they have white fur, and this white fur which is present in the bear helps it to blend it with the snow and ice, and thereby it escapes from the predators. It hides itself from the predators. Then other than fur, it has a thick layer of fat under its skin. Okay, like we have this skin, under this skin there is a layer of fat. Okay, there is a layer of muscles and fat. The same way the polar bear also, under its skin there is a thick layer of fat which is present, and this fat which is present in its body keeps the body of the bear warm in the cold temperatures. Okay, you know, in these areas, in the mountain areas at higher altitudes, the temperature is very low. That means it's cold enough. Okay, so this fat which is present under the skin keeps the body of the bear warm so that it can survive in those chilly winters, or maybe the maybe in the low temperatures. Okay. Then another important feature which is found in the polar bears is its small and round ears. Okay, its ears are not like we have. Our ears are broad and it is not round in shape. Okay, but here in case of polar bears, it is very small and it is round. Okay, why it is round? Can anybody think and say why is it like that? Yes, who is going to tell? Just a try. Maybe you can answer. Abhinav Pandey. Nobody is going to answer. Rudrani. Divyansh Kumar.
Good morning, ma'am.
Please be louder.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Sorry, ma'am, but I want to ask some questions. That's why.
You're not audible to me.
Ma'am, now my voice is coming.
Your volume is very low. You are audible, but volume is very low.
Which now?
Yes.
Sorry, ma'am, but I want to ask some questions. That's why I have raised hand.
Okay, your question time will come later. All those who have raised their hand, kindly put your hands down. I have already told in your query time, I'll give you time for asking questions. If continuously you keep raising your hands like this, it will become difficult for me to teach further. Please put your hands down, and Ayushi, I think, is going to answer to my question.
Yes, I think because they swim in very cold water, so the cold water should not enter their ears. That's why they have small round ears.
Cold water or cold air?
Cold air and ice, they should not enter their ears. So,
Yes, very good. Please clap for Ayushi.
thank you, ma'am.
Please mute yourself now. Okay, so you see the polar bears, they have small and round ears. This helps to maintain body heat, and it does not allow the cold water as well as the cold wind to enter the ears. If it will enter into the ears, what will happen? It will move into the body. Okay, so the surround ear, it helps it to maintain the body temperature. Those who have not seen a polar bear, just look at this. They look so beautiful. Okay, the complete body is white and their face is very cute, isn't it? Girls mostly like it. That is why they take the teddy bear. Okay, so, well, though it looks so nice, it finds it very hard to survive in its habitat. Okay, as the temperature in its surrounding is comparatively low, the pressure is high, the amount of carbon dioxide and oxygen is comparatively less, and then too they are able to survive in their habitat. The reason is the special feature which is adapted, which is helping it to adapt in its habitat. Okay, so adaptations, as you know, are the characteristics that help an organism to survive in its environment and also reproduce in their environment. In the beginning, we have discussed why do they need a habitat, or what is provided to these organisms from their habitat. So there were many things that we have discussed. We have discussed that the food is provided, shelter is provided, then a mate is provided, and this mate is helping in reproduction. Okay, so now let's see some more slides to know about the polar bears. So here you can see this module is showing a polar bear which is adapted to its habitat, and there are certain behavioral and physical adaptations because of which it is able to survive in its habitat. Okay, the polar bear, as you know, now is a good swimmer. That is a behavioral adaptation. This allows the polar bear to capture the prey inside the water. Okay, and that is their food. Then you can see the polar bear has round ears. This helps preventing the water from entering into the ears. Okay, and it also helps to conserve the body warmth. It's not only the water that will enter into the ears, but the cold wind also. It is prevented from getting into the body. Okay, and this is how the body temperature is, body warmth is maintained in the polar bears. Now, the next topic that we have to discuss today is about the mountain goat. Mountain goats have adapted to living in the mountains. Okay, and there are many more animals which survive in the mountain. It's not only the polar bear and the mountain goats, but you can see in your book, it is showing yak, snow leopard, penguin. These are some of the animals, some of the examples of the animals which are able to survive in their habitat, in their cold climate, in the cold and harsh climate. Okay, now the first thing that you need to know is the mountain goats have strong hooves. Okay, hoof is the divided feet that helps the goats to have grip when they are walking on the rocks and the mountains. Okay, these hooves are soft and flexible. Flexible means it can move in its own way so that it can easily walk on the rocks and mountains. It can adjust with the surface. Okay, so these hooves helps the goats to balance on the rocky slopes, and these hooves only prevents the mountain goats from slipping while they're walking on the mountains. You see here, they climb up, they move down. So when walking on these rocky mountains, it is very difficult. If we are asked to move here, if we are asked to go there, go in such places, we will definitely, first of all, see the protection that is given when we are climbing up a mountain. If you have ever experienced such thing, or if you have ever seen such things in movies or in Discovery, you might have observed that people walk or climb on these mountains with protection, okay, or under somebody's supervision, so that somebody is there to protect. But here, when we talk about the mountain goats, these are the wild animals, okay? They how they will get protection from others? They need to protect themselves. So there are certain special features which are present in their body, and these special features of their body only helps them to survive in their habitat. Now, what you might be thinking that what is the use of climbing the mountains? So let me tell you, they need to find their food. This is the reason they move here and there. So these hooves which are present in the body of the mountain goats, they are soft and flexible, and also these hooves helps to balance the body while walking on the rocky slopes and rocky mountains, and prevents the mountain goats from slipping down. Okay. Then another special feature, another special adaptation in the mountain goats is they have thick white coat of fur. Okay. There is the presence of thick white coat of fur. What is the use of thick coat of fur? This thick coat of fur keeps the inside body warm. And this is the reason during winters, we wear coats or sweaters. Why do we wear it? So that the outer cool air cannot harm us. Okay? To maintain our body temperature, to keep it warm enough, we wear woolen clothes. Okay? And in mountain goats, this is an adaptation to survive. Okay, they will not wear the coats and woolen clothes. No, they already have the presence of all these. Okay, God has created them in such a way that they can survive in the harsh climatic conditions. Okay, so this white coat, it not only provides warmth to the body, but it also helps the mountain goats to hide from the predators, as this white fur helps the body, helps the goat to blend with the snowing environment. And as we have already learned that the color change or whatever body color is present in certain animals, it is just because it is just that it can blend its color with the surrounding and then escape from the predators. Okay, then mountain goats have horns which help them to defend themselves. So you see, these are the horns present. So if the enemy attacks them, what will happen? They will defend themselves. They will protect themselves by defending with the help of these horns which are present on its head. Then the mountain goats have rubber on their hooves. Rubber on their hooves doesn't mean the rubber that we use for rubbing the pencil writing. The rubber hooves means padded, somewhat like padded hooves, as you have learned in case of camel. Okay, so these mountain goats also have rubber or padded hooves. This protects the hooves when it is this is protecting the hooves from getting hurt. Okay, and also it helps to form a grip while walking on the Rocky Mountains. And the fur that is present on its body protects the body from the harsh weather of the mountains. So we have discussed about the adaptations in animals which are living in the mountains. We have discussed about the polar bear, and we have discussed about the mountain goat. These animals have developed fur, and this fur, it protects the body, the inside body, and maintains the body temperature. So this fur is acting as an insulation. It is a coating on the body, which is protecting the inside body from the outside cold climate. Okay. These animals have thick layer of fat also. This also helps to give them heat. This provides them warmth so that they can survive in their climate. Then the polar bears, they undergo hibernation during winter season. Okay, during the winter season, when there is a very, very low temperature, it's totally chilly outside, then at that time, these polar bears, they undergo hibernation. Okay, what is hibernation? We have already discussed in the previous classes. Hibernation is a long winter sleep. Okay, they do not move out of their den in search of food. Otherwise, they need food, they move out and they run, they swim, and they find out their food. Okay, but during chilly winters, when the temperatures are very, very low and it's very cold outside, at that point of time, these polar bears also do not move out, because that cold temperature may harm them. They'll not be able to maintain the body temperature, because of which there can be their survival will not be possible. Okay, this is why these polar bears, they undergo hibernation during winter season, and also their capacity to take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide is very strong, as there is increased lung capacity, as we have already discussed in the beginning, that in the mountain areas the amount of carbon dioxide and oxygen is comparatively less. There is a low concentration of the carbon dioxide as well as oxygen. Okay, why is it so? Because these gases which are present in the air, which are present in the atmosphere, are heavier than other gases. So definitely these this oxygen as well as carbon dioxide, it is found in the low areas. In the plains, we will find more amount of oxygen and carbon dioxide compared to the amount of carbon dioxide in the mountains. Okay, so as we move at higher altitudes, जब हम sea level से ऊपर उठते जाते हैं, then the amount of carbon dioxide and also oxygen, it reduces. This is the reason you might have observed in the movies and Discovery Channel that the mountaineers, those people, those who climb the mountains, they carry oxygen cylinders with them. And if you have ever experienced, you might have noticed, when you move to higher altitude, when you move to mountain places, in those places, comparatively, it is difficult to breathe. Okay, it is difficult to breathe. The reason is, the main reason is the concentration or the amount of this oxygen which is needed for us is comparatively less. Okay, so this is why the organisms surviving on the in the mountains, they have increased lung capacity, so that with less amount of oxygen also they can survive. Okay, So this is all for today. We'll be discussing about adaptations in mountains in plants in the next class. Already it's too much for today and most of you have raised your hand. So let me give you time. We have 5 minutes left. So those who can get chance will get chance because I find that the number of students raising hand is too much today. Okay. So the first one is Pratyusha.
Ma'am, I want to ask that why they both like mountain goats and polar bears got white color for? Why not any other color?
That is their special creation. The God has created them like that. Why the camel has brown color? Why do we have white and black color? God has created us like that. Okay. It's not that we can or animals or plants, anyone can have the color of our choice. Can we have it? Is there any possibility? No, there is no such possibility. What is made in its way will remain in the same way. There is no change. And we cannot demand also. Can I say that I want to be like Aishwarya Rai and I'll be within some time? It's not possible. Because God has created me in the look I am. There is no choice at that point. Then Adhyada.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, I have to ask the hair on camel's ear. What did it?
Pardon?
Ma'am, the hair on camel's ear.
Hair on camel's ear. I think we have already discussed about certain features. Okay, there are many other things present in its body. We have not discussed about it. We have discussed only about few features. We have discussed about the 2 rows of eyelashes that protects from the sand to enter into the body, into the eye, sorry. Then we have discussed about the hump, which is a storehouse of food. We have discussed about the plenty of water that it takes, that is stored in its complete body. We have discussed about the thick feathery patch, leathery patch on its knees, which protects its knee when it is sitting or when it is kneeling down on the hot sand. So from that hot sand, the leathery patch protects the body to get the complete heat. Okay. So these are the few features that we have discussed, which are adapted by the camel to survive in its habitat. Well, on its complete body, there is hair. So different things are present. We have not discussed everything about camel. When in high class, you will be learning about a camel in detail, then you will be learning about it. Okay, what was required for your standard, that is already told to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Please mute yourself. Hazik Javed. You're not audible, Hazik.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, mountain goats are harmful for...
Yes, mountain goats at times are harmful to us. Okay. Rudrani.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, can I answer Adya's question?
Answer Adhya's question. Okay.
Yes.
The hairs on the ears.
Yes. Ma'am, she has asked that why do they have so much hair everywhere on their body?
No, she has asked why. What is the use of that hair that is present on its ears?
Ma'am, because one time my mother has told me that when we go in desert areas in the morning or in the day, it is very hot, but when the sun sets, that time it becomes very cold, and because of that, first thing is that sandstorms come, so it protects the sand to go inside their ears. And next thing is that so that the cold air do not go inside the camel's ears.
Thank you. So Adya has got her answer. Thank you, Rudrani. So the last question for the day. Anshika Rai.
Miss, I'm late to 5 minutes, so I can't listen the plants.
So next time onwards, be on time, Anshika, okay? Your class time is 7:15.
Miss, I'm knowing this is new phone, no, that's why it is late.
Okay, it's new phone, so you should have got up a bit early and you should have started with it a bit early, okay? Next time, kindly be on time so that you don't miss anything, okay? Well, whatever will be your left part, when we will do the revision, that time we will discuss, okay? So with this, I end up today's session. God bless you all.